For a really long time, I used to let my net worth determine my self-worth. I've always had this passion to speak and share my knowledge and my information and my insights and my perspectives, and for no other reason than to give others something to think about. I'm leaving that in there. It's been this fiery, burning passion in me for years. I can't even tell you the amount of years it has been that way for me. I would love nothing more than to travel the world speaking on stages, as scary and as crazy as that sounds, but that's because that's how deep this passion is for me. It's not sitting down in front of a camera and just flapping my gums and sharing whatever in order to make people think I'm this guru or this expert. It's none of that. I just want to share what is up here because I have a lot of it. But when it comes to net worth, I don't have anything. And I always let my net worth determine my self-worth. I was broke. For the record, I'm broke again. A divorce will do that to you. I've been dependent on men to support me for years. In the past, the things that I would hear myself say is, you're broke. You're dependent on other people to support you. You've tried to start so many businesses and they have all failed. You've spent all this money on courses to become a life coach, to obtain these certifications and learn all of these skills, but you've never done anything with them. Nobody wants to hear from a woman who can't support herself, who can't follow through on her own business adventures, who can't achieve the goals that she set out for herself. Who would want to hear from you? You have no financial proof that you know what the fuck you're talking about. Those are the words I would hear myself say. But each and every time that fire still burned in me, that fire has never went away, ever. It still burns now. And to pacify that fire, that's why I would buy course after course, certification after certification, thinking that that was going to satisfy what was burning within me, what God, the universe, my soul was telling me I'm meant to do. I was trying to tame that fire by buying something else. And because those something else's weren't what I'm called to do, I never finished them. I never saw them out. I never stuck them through. I failed and I failed and I failed because I realized they weren't bringing me the happiness, the fulfillment that I was hoping they would bring. Now, the upside to that is I have learned a lot. I have learned a lot from these courses. I have learned a lot from these certifications. I have learned a lot from living life. I have lived in multiple different states, traveled to a few countries. I'm not a world traveler as much as I would love to be. I've done a lot of personal development, spiritual work, energy work. I have this ability to help people see a different perspective when it comes to their situation, or a different perspective when it comes to certain topics. I'm not a professional, I'm not a guru, I'm not an expert, I'm not standing here recording this video trying to pass that off. I just know that I have a gift, and that is bold to say, but we all have gifts. We're just too afraid to stand up and proclaim it, to state it, to own it. That we all have gifts. And I have been smothering mine for a really long time. And in doing so, I've never been able to build my net worth. But here's the cold, hard truth to it all. I realized it was my environment. I knew it was my environment for a lot of years. Anytime I read something that would talk about your environment and how it affects your growth and your success, I knew in my heart it was my environment. I went to an in-person seminar. I've been to many retreats. And one of the retreats I went to, I would say within the past 5 years, sitting just a few rows from the speaker, they started talking about your environment. And hearing it that close is when I realized I'm never getting out of here. I am never getting out of here. I am never going to fulfill my dream or even get to work on my dream. I'm always going to be fighting for something that makes me feel somewhat fulfilled. My environment kept me distracted. I would start getting momentum, and then something would happen where all of my work, all of my time, all of my energy would just have to come to a complete stop. My environment was honestly energy sucking. I always wanted to contribute, but anytime I tried, my environment would stop me. And it made me frustrated and it made me angry. I knew I needed to change my environment if I ever wanted to succeed. If I ever wanted to accomplish anything, if I ever wanted to succeed, I had to change my environment. I tried to physically change my environment, but I couldn't. I tried changing my own energy in hopes that my environment would rise up and meet that energy and change. I tried requesting specific time for just me so I can work on my goals, on my dreams, on my passion. But those requests were never respected, ever. I was hopeless. I felt worthless. Worthless because I just continued to fail over and over again. And one day, I knew that if I couldn't change my environment, my only other option was to leave it and create the environment that I needed to thrive. And here I am. Now, my net worth hasn't changed since I left, but my self-worth has slowly started to rise. And that feeling, to feel like I can breathe, to just start feeling good about myself again. I could talk all about that on a different video. I know my self-worth will reflect onto my net worth. I had it backwards before. My old environment prevented me from seeing this. Self-worth, then net worth. Not net worth, then self-worth. And I'm here, finally, at the beginning stages of doing what my soul has been screaming at me to do for years. And I am excited to share this journey with each and every person who finds me worthy of their time. So if this resonates with you, please give me a follow. And hopefully my stories will eventually inspire you to take scary action in your own life.